Riding popular Disney attractions backwards, waiting in longer ride lines than necessary, and land snorkeling. The things you should build your Magic Kingdom bucket list around could also be some of the most unexpected. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and today we're building a Disney World bucket list strictly around the unexpected hidden gems, underground tricks, and other bizarre Magic Kingdom offerings that you're not going to want to miss out on in the first park in Disney World. And just to help you out, we'll be putting price tags next to each point so you can see how much you need to budget for each of these bucket list items if you want to add them to your personal list of must-dos. Keep in mind that the price of a Magic Kingdom general admission ticket is not included in the overall price tags posted on the screen. So if something's listed as being free or inexpensive, just note that we're assuming you've already got a Magic Kingdom park ticket. Number 1 on our list is leading a parade. 99.999% of people will have the opportunity to watch Festival of Fantasy on their day in Magic Kingdom, but the other 0.001% will become a part of the show. Every day, a family's chosen at random to serve as the Grand Marshal in one of the Festival of Fantasy parades, meaning they'll get to ride in their own vehicle at the start of the parade to kick things off. Unfortunately, the chances of being chosen are very slim. You can't even pay your way into a Grand Marshal position. You just have to cross your fingers, wish upon a star, and do whatever other good luck incantations you think will work in your favor. However, you can at least improve your chances of becoming Grand Marshal in a few different ways. 1. Show up early. Grand Marshals are chosen before Magic Kingdom opens, so if you can get there even before early theme park entry begins, that might be your best shot. 2. Be friendly. I know it's hard to put on a happy face that early in the morning, but cast members want their Grand Marshals to look like they want to be there, so they'll be on the lookout for a family who's all smiles and ready to say hello to anyone who crosses their path. And 3, maybe wear a celebration button. Not all Grand Marshals sport those free celebration buttons that you can grab at the front desk of your hotel or park guest services and various other locations, but proudly showing off that it's your birthday, graduation, honeymoon, etc. doesn't hurt when it comes to cast members making their final Grand Marshal decisions. Some of the longest standing traditions in Magic Kingdom make for the best bucket list items. Each evening starting at 5 p.m. on Main Street, USA, you can watch the Magic Kingdom flag retreat take place. During this time, the Walt Disney World Band circles around the town square flagpole and plays the Star-Spangled Banner as the American flag is slowly lowered for the evening. Once it's brought down and has been properly folded, the flag is then handed off to a selected veteran of the day, followed by a brief tribute detailing his or her military service. The daily flag retreat is one of those lesser-known events that often gets overlooked, but if you actually do take the time to check this out, I guarantee you major chills, you won't regret it. Now there's something you don't see every day. You might be able to see the floating head of Madame Leotaa from a distance while riding Haunted Mansion, but what if I told you there's a chance for you to see her face to face, or rather face to mirror? The Haunted Mansion gift shop called Memento Mori might be small, but it is packed with lots of spooky, happy haunts. According to Imagineers, this very gift shop was actually the home of Madame Leotaa, the floating head inside the Haunted Mansion ride who's summoning all the spirits from somewhere beyond. You know her. Although Leotaa only lived here during her corruptible mortal state, a lot of her stuff was left behind, including her gold-rimmed mirror. And if you get close enough to the mirror, you may just recognize a familiar face peering back at you. I literally love this little thing. I don't think very many people know about this one. Okay, it is finally here. Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away is now illuminating the paths around Magic Kingdom every night. It's the new nighttime parade and it is beautiful. Now, much like any Disney show, times are subject to change, but most frequently, we've been seeing 2 Disney Starlight performances happen nightly, one before the Happily Ever After Fireworks Spectacular and one after. So, here's the weird part. If you want to watch Disney Starlight with lower crowds, then stick around and watch the second showing instead of the first, if your heavy-lidded eyes will allow for it. Many guests, especially families with younger kids in tow, are going to wrap up their Magic Kingdom day after the fireworks and the first parade and make a beeline for the exit. And that means that those of us who stick around and maybe have another cup of coffee have a much easier time finding viewing locations to witness the full impact of each one of those nighttime parade floats. So, yep, stay even later and watch the second parade. Now, this is a concept I learned about from the New York Times, and one that plenty of Disney adults have already been adopting without even realizing realizing it. The term land snorkeling refers to the idea of paying attention to where you are, not necessarily where you're going. Or as artist Crystal Guzman describes it, you wander and you wonder. Land snorkeling can be done pretty much anywhere in Disney World, but really it's Magic Kingdom that started this trend for Disney adults back when it first opened up in 1971. This is one of the many concepts that really helped fuel my brand new book, Disney Adults. So cool to say it. Brand new book, Disney Adults. Now here's the thing, Disney adults don't just love Magic Kingdom for the rides and the shows and the food. They love it for the journey. They love taking a step back in time down Main Street, USA, jumping into a dated future with solar harvesting palm trees in Tomorrowland, transporting into their favorite royal Disney stories in Fantasyland, and everything else. So before you get to planning a jam-packed day in Magic Kingdom, don't forget to give your itinerary a little wiggle room so you can do some land snorkeling of your own and really appreciate all the Imagineering details that have made Magic Kingdom into what it is today. Riding the iconic Walt Disney World Railroad might be a bucket list item for you already just because, well, it's iconic and something Walt Disney would have wanted you to do. But now that changes have been made to the ride recently, all you who've already checked this experience off from your own Magic Kingdom bucket list might want to add it back again. Now that Tom Sawyer Island and the Rivers of America and the Liberty Square Riverboat are closed to make way for the new Cars-themed Piston Peak area, which will be opening between Frontierland and Liberty Square at a later date, the Walt Disney World Railroad has had to change up the way it operates to keep it from closing down altogether. The railroad now only has two stops, Fantasyland and Main Street USA, meaning it skips over the old Frontierland stop altogether. And because of this, the railroad now doesn't make a full loop around the park. Instead, it'll go forward and backward, which is why half the seats are now turned to face the opposite direction too. Disney's deemed this version of the train as its shuttle mode, which will be the mode it stays in for the foreseeable future. But it continues to be a great way to cross over from Main Street to Fantasyland while still getting a good aerial view across that side of the park. Secrets may be no fun unless they get you around the thick of theme park crowds and to your destination a whole lot faster. Then they're lots of fun. Then they're a whole lot of fun and worthy of being added to your Magic Kingdom bucket list, especially if you want to become a pro park navigator. Take, for instance, these shortcuts that the DFB reporters and I constantly take when we're in Magic Kingdom. First, the Tron shortcut. When Tron Light Cycle Run opened in Magic Kingdom back in 2023, we got this great shortcut that goes underneath the roller coaster itself and connects to Storybook Circus, which is near the Fantasyland Railroad Station. This path is partially shaded, has some great benches that are often vacant, and gives you a nice view of the coaster during its outdoor leg. And best of all, it's going to take you around that crowded main path that travels past Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe and up to the Tron coaster way faster. Second shortcut, the classic shop cut-through. The Emporium on Main Street, USA is a massive gift shop that connects the Castle Hub area to the Town Square area of Main Street, USA. So if there are a ton of people lined up on Main Street for a Festival of Fantasy Parade or Disney Starlight or Happily Ever After, you can avoid having to tango with those crowds by cutting through Casey's Corner and all the way through the Emporium, or backwards from the Emporium all the way to Casey's Corner. Warning though, immediately after the fireworks or parades end, this shortcut doesn't become all that short anymore, since the Emporium will get super crowded with people who want to pop in for a few souvenirs post-performance. So only use this shortcut when it makes sense. And the third shortcut, the Liberty Square Gazebo Path. Another pathway that few people use is located near Ye Olde Christmas Shop in Liberty Square. You enter the pathway next to the caricature kiosk, and it takes you behind the store, past the Liberty Square gazebo, and spits you out near the entrance to Adventureland. This is a great way to avoid the crowds if a parade is going on or the fireworks are about to start, since it's going to help you avoid the busy main hub in Magic Kingdom. We've even used this pathway as a shortcut to watch Festival of Fantasy twice in one show. Really. You watch it once in Liberty Square, and then you take this pathway out to Main Street, USA, and watch again from down there. We've always got some sort of DFB maps wandering around for you to pick up that'll make your next Disney World visit a whole lot easier. But the DFB maps we're probably the most proud of are our free Best Snacks maps, which will show you our current top 10 snacks in each Disney World park and where you can find them once you're there. To pick up these snack maps for yourself and your group, go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen now, or click on the link in the description for disneyfoodblog.com/bestsnacks after this, and we'll get them to you ASAP. This is probably the big bucket list item that comes to most people's minds when they think about the must-dos of Magic Kingdom, and for good reason. I mean, how can you step foot in Magic Kingdom and not want to go inside that castle, right? When you make reservations for Cinderella's Royal Table, you will have the rare opportunity to dine inside Magic Kingdom's park icon, known across the globe. Not only that, you'll also get to take part in a wishing ceremony and meet a variety of fan-favorite Disney princesses during your meal too. Reservations for this one are some of the trickiest to make, so be sure you set your alarms for 6 a.m. Eastern and wake up once you're 60 days out from your vacation to make that res. That's the earliest you'll be able to start booking those table service experiences. Wait, more secrets? Y'all, we might as well be breaking into Magic Kingdom's diary at this point. As it turns out, Magic Kingdom had some hush-hush menu items at lots of their restaurants that have become a little less hush-hush nowadays, which might be my fault because I love to blab about them to you. Whoops. But regardless of how they land on the secret keeping spectrum nowadays, you want to add them to your bucket list, just because you'll still be more in the know about these secret items than anybody else who doesn't obsessively plan out every detail of their Magic Kingdom vacation beforehand. Guilty. For example, those wacky Jungle Cruise skippers at Skipper Canteen are always cooking up something fun, and that includes a few secret menu items. The most common secret menu item you're going to find here is, say it with me, the pão de queijo Brazilian cheese bread with a side of chimichurri cream cheese. But sometimes you can also find other apps and secret cocktails here too. Just ask your Skipper server what off-menu items are currently available. Now, over at Cinderella's Royal Table, the Cinderella white chocolate slipper dessert is also available to order at an additional cost on top of your prefix dining price, but you're not going to see it pop up on any online menus before your visit. Your server will mention it to you after you're seated, maybe. If they don't, or if they forget to, you can always ask about it just to double check. Now, this slipper is made out of a white chocolate slipper sculpture and filled with raspberry mousse that's further topped with edible flowers, glitter, and surrounded in a sauce and raspberry shavings. It's a pretty dessert, but also pretty pricey at around $27. But if you've already budgeted to splurge on this meal, it could serve as the icing, sprinkles, gravy, and cherries on top of an already fun dining experience. Very, very fun if you're going to pop the question, or maybe if you have a princess in your family that you really, really want to spoil. But it's not just the table service that get all the fun secret menu items. Sometimes secret confections can appear at the Main Street Confectionery, like off-menu popcorn mixes from Colonel Kitchen. Or you might find a secret dipping sauce from a place like the Adventureland Spring Roll Cart, which can occasionally have this mayo-based aioli that you can request to accompany your savory spring rolls. It just takes a little extra research and a little extra bravery on your end to ask about these things. But if you want to make sure you know exactly what to ask for before you go ahead and subscribe to our free DFB newsletter so we can fill you in on the latest secret menu items that we come across just as soon as we find them. Take this bucket list item with a grain of salt, because while some people will always want to do this early theme park entry strategy, others might feel a little less inclined. Intrigued? Great. Okay, early theme park entry is a special perk for guests who are staying at a Disney-owned resort during their trip, giving them a chance to enter any of the parks on any day 30 minutes before everybody else. And that means early entry guests will have a head start in ride lines, which includes some of the most popular rides in the parks. When it comes to Magic Kingdom, your early theme park entry ride access will be limited to 2 sections of the park only, Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. So a lot of folks will make a beeline for the rides in these sections that tend to rack up the highest waits, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan's Flight, and Space Mountain. Or they'll at least wait in line for Tron Light Cycle Run. Even though this coaster doesn't open until the park does, early theme park entry guests are still allowed to get in line for it. And I'm not saying to not do this, because it very well could help you avoid waiting in the longest ride lines of the day. But if you choose to get in line for one of these more popular rides, that's pretty much how you're going to use your early theme park entry time. On one ride only. However, if you instead use this early entry time to jump in line for some of those less popular rides that can still have peak crowds by the afternoon, like Astro Orbiter or Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin when it's open, the Barnstormer, Dumbo, or Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, then you could knock out 2 or 3 rides in the morning before the park officially opens, which could be a much better strategy for you, especially if you have younger kids in your party. So you might want to add this to your bucket list, or you might not, but I will say it can be fun to try this strategy out just to see how many Magic Kingdom rides you can conquer during that first half hour that you're there. Skipper Canteen might already be a bucket list restaurant for you, but let me help you take that one step further. Skipper Canteen has multiple Jungle Cruise themed dining rooms you can potentially sit in, but the most unique seat in the house in this adventurous dining spot is the butterfly booth. This booth is surrounded by dozens of framed butterfly specimens reportedly once owned by Lillian Disney. According to Imagineering lore, this booth was once the secret meeting spot for the SEA, the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, a group who makes appearances across multiple Disney rides, restaurants, and attractions, not just in Magic Kingdom, but in Disney parks worldwide. This might not be a guaranteed thing you can do to watch the Festival of Fantasy parade, but let me tell you, it is worth checking out regardless, just to see if you can mark it off your bucket list on the day of your visit. The second level of the Main Street USA train station has some of the best parade views that help you see everything. Literally everything. Not just the floats, but Cinderella Castle in the background, all the Main Street shops, the faces of the excited kids as they wave at their favorite character passing by, the whole 9 yards. But if you choose to stake out a spot here, make sure you arrive earlier than you would if you were staking out a parade spot at ground level, because the second story of the train station does fill up fast. Again, when it's available. Sometimes they use this for VIP tours, and so it may be shut down to everybody else. But if it's not, this is a great place to be. You might not have been able to ride Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in Magic Kingdom to mark off your bucket list before, but that doesn't mean you can't still say howdy to his memory. As you're heading into Owl's house on The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, look to your left and you'll notice a photo of Mr. Toad handing the deed for the attraction over to Owl. So I guess Mr. Toad was cool with this little makeover, even if we weren't, or perhaps something else happened to him. If you jump over to the pet cemetery towards the exit of Haunted Mansion, you can find a tombstone dedicated to the poor and reckless Mr. Toad as well. Okay, I am still adding more bucket list items that have to do with Magic Kingdom parades, but do you blame me? Because they're kind of a big deal around here. When it quite literally starts to rain on your parade at Magic Kingdom, don't ditch it just yet. While Festival of Fantasy won't run when it's too stormy out, a rainy setting could be your opportunity to see a rare Disney parade instead. The rainy day Cavalcade only comes out when the weather is threatening to ruin your good time, so it's still a nice little treat for withstanding all the puddles and soaking wet socks. It's very, very cute. I love this little parade every time I get to see it. Finally, we now know what happened to Icabad Crane after his terrifying encounter with the Headless Horseman. Seems he's taken up residence in the loft above Sleepy Hollow Refreshments over in Liberty Square. Fitting. Now, dear old Icky is a busy dude, so you're not going to see him wandering past this window during the day. But when the night rolls around, look up to see Icabad Crane's shadow pacing back and forth on occasion, sometimes eating a piece of pie, and more than likely thinking about Katrina. Look, I like a Mickey plushie and punny Disney hat as much as the next person, but a lot of those classic souvenirs you'll find around the shops like the Emporium and Main Street USA can be found in other places around Disney World too. It's not exclusive. So I'm always out here looking for the really rare, customizable, and super unique souvenir finds of Magic Kingdom instead. Some of our favorite places to grab a custom Magic Kingdom souvenir are the custom Tron figurines made to look and sound like you at the Tomorrowland Launch Depot, personalized glasses, tiaras, 3D images, frames, and crystal wish keepers from Crystal Arts, cutout silhouettes from the carts in Main Street USA and Liberty Square, hand-painted parasols from a different Liberty Square cart, personalized leather bracelets and keychains from Plaza del Sol Caribe Bazaar at the exit of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, embroidered ear, hats, and bags and hand towels, etc. from the Town Square Theater gift shop, Pandora charm bracelets and necklaces from Uptown Jewelers in Main Street USA. Those are a little pricey, but you know, if you're looking for that, they're there. Personalized ornaments from Ye Olde Christmas Shop, and popcorn customizations from the Colonel Kitchen inside Main Street Confectionery, if you count a popcorn snack as a custom souvenir, that is. But get this, y'all. There's a brand new custom souvenir shop that just recently opened in Magic Kingdom, and it is so cool. The reimagined Prairie Outpost and Supply now sells top hats, visors, sun hats, ball caps, cowboy hats, and more. But what makes this otherwise typical hat store unique is that you can actually decorate and design your own hat. And these are high quality hats, my friends. These are not like, basic things. Anyway, you can decorate and design your own hat while you're here. Just pick out the design you want, customize it with the provided pins and accessories, and turn it into a uniquely you fashion statement. Admittedly, Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe inside Tomorrowland is not my number one choice when it comes to Magic Kingdom quick dining. I'd much rather munch on surf and turf from Columbia Harbor House or grab some corn dog nuggets with plastic cheese at Casey's Corner or even pick up a cheeseburger spring roll from the Adventureland spring roll cart. But if there's one reason to visit Cosmic Rays and one reason alone, it is to watch Sunny Eclipse tickle the ivories and serenade us with his velvet voice, because this guy is a bucket list must-see in his own right. But who is Sunny Eclipse, AJ? Well, according to Imagineering lore, Cosmic Ray himself actually has a chain of Starlight Cafes. But the one Sunny Eclipse was hired to perform in is Mr. Ray's first and only Earth-based location. Between songs, Sunny will fill you in on his personal life, from his musical career to his sick-side girlfriend. So if you decide to dine here for a quick bite of chicken strips, burgers, or salad, find a seat near Sunny, because that's going to be the best seat in the house. So there's a doll lurking within Magic Kingdom that you'll only find if you're on the hunt for her. If you want to add a little eeriness to your bucket list, you're going to want to go find Cynthia. Cynthia keeps an eye on things through one of the windows of Liberty Square. And of course, we give our props to our friends over at allears.net for finding and naming Cynthia. Now, as unsettling as it might be to know that an ancient-looking doll might be staring straight at you as you wander around those Liberty Square pathways, Cynthia is not actually in Liberty Square solely to give you the heebie-jeebies. Back in colonial days, dolls were often placed in windows to alert firefighters that children lived in those houses, just in case there was ever a fire and the firefighters needed to know what to make a priority. So Cynthia is actually out here being a protector rather than a creepy spook. But that doesn't mean she's not giving off major Annabelle vibes out here, just saying. Welcome to the umpteenth meeting of the Unofficial People Mover Fan Club. I'm AJ, your Unofficial People Mover president, and we're here to talk about one of the many reasons why I love this Ride in the Sky attraction as much as I do, and why I believe it should be a bucket list ride for anyone planning on going to Magic Kingdom. The People Mover has been a part of Magic Kingdom since 1975 and is one of those rare Disney rides where you can kick up your feet and rest a bit while going in and out of tunnels that take you on a relaxing little tour above and through various Tomorrowland attractions. If you're lucky and time your visit just right, you might even catch some Magic Kingdom fireworks during your ride. All right, club members, meeting adjourned, but please join us for the next one. If you're swinging by Casey's Corner off of Main Street, USA during the day for a hot dog or a chili dog or a basket of corn dog nugs, don't forget to stop by and listen to the Casey's Corner pianist for a little while before moving on to your next Magic Kingdom adventure. The pianists that perform here specialize in ragtime tunes, but they do take requests, and they especially love Disney song requests, so don't be shy. Ask for one of your favorites and see it played out in ragtime fashion. The Casey's piano players aren't always outside the restaurant, but you can find out when they perform on the My Disney Experience app. They're indoors, they're relatively quiet, they've got plenty of AC, and they give you time to get off your feet for the next 10 to 20 minutes. Oh, and they're entertaining because they're entirely animatronic led. Of course, I'm talking about the variety of indoor shows you can catch during your day across the Magic Kingdom, which can be a very welcome break away from the sun and the ride lines and, all the people. Now, while it might be hard to see all these performances during one single visit, it's a nice little accomplishment to eventually see them all over the course of several visits, unless that is you want to prioritize all these shows and sacrifice some of the rides during your day in Magic Kingdom. You can totally choose to do that. So, which animatronic show do you need to add to your bucket list? Well, here's the full list of them, and you can choose. The Hall of Presidents is in Liberty Square, features all 45 of our U.S. presidents up on stage in audio animatronic form. Country Bear Musical Jamboree in Frontierland, which was recently reimagined to have these animatronic bears sing classic Disney tunes in more of a country and rockabilly fashion. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room in Adventureland, a classic. This is an opening day Magic Kingdom attraction featuring singing birds, singing flowers, singing tiki heads. Everyone's singing up in here. And Carousel of Progress in Tomorrowland, which takes place in a slowly rotating theater and illustrates how the evolution of technology has impacted the average American household across the ages. But it's much less boring than that sounds, I promise. So the jokes write themselves with us calling this throw away your money, right? But in all seriousness, throwing away your money could be the most important item on your Magic Kingdom bucket list. If you happen to stop by Cinderella's wishing well on the right-hand path of her castle, or if you see other water areas around the park that have lots of coins tossed into them by other guests, you should totally join in on the fun and make a wish yourself. All the coins tossed into the wells and water rides and water features, and not just Magic Kingdom, but all of Disney World property, are regularly collected and donated to children's charities across the Central Florida area. So rest assured, your waterlogged pennies and nickels and dimes are going to go to a great cause. So if you've got a dream to take a picture inside the Rapunzel area within Fantasyland with one of Punzi's floating lanterns, that can come true. Once the sun sets, the tangled bathroom area lights up, a weird sentence, but just go with it, and a cast member-led photo pass op appears, giving you the chance to actually hold a lantern underneath these strings of lights. It's fun, but if you're not in the area when it gets dark, you might accidentally miss out on it altogether, which would be really sad for all you Tangled fans out there. Just keep in mind that if the weather is dreary that night, this photo op probably won't be available, but on most nights, it'll be ready and waiting for you to pose with. Yeah, I know. The My Disney Experience app has digital maps of the parks that get updated regularly and won't get lost at the bottom of your backpack. But it's still fun to collect the paper maps from the front of Magic Kingdom. Not only are they free souvenirs you can keep forever and ever, amen, but they're also regularly updated. So if you didn't want to use your phone for a bit to save your battery, you can just pull out one of these here maps instead to see what you need to do next. Not to mention, because Magic Kingdom is constantly changing, each map you pick up serves as a time capsule, kind of showing you what the parks were like back when you last visited, considering they may never be like that again. Or you can just make these maps into jewelry or crafts. I've seen that online too, and they wind up really cute. Picture this, a perfect view of Magic Kingdom's nighttime fireworks spectacular and endless desserts and drinks to enjoy. Sound like the kind of event you want to add to your Magic Kingdom bucket list? I know, then you're going to want to start saving back for one of Magic Kingdom's dessert parties. The Happily Ever After dessert parties at Tomorrowland Terrace feature special desserts, hot and cold beverages, and preferred viewing of the fireworks. Awesome, right? A great event for the whole family. There are 3 different versions of the fireworks parties you can choose from. The treats and seats version is the most expensive, but this one does give you the chance to enjoy dessert and watch the fireworks from Tomorrowland Terrace at the same time. The whole seats part means that you get actual seats to watch the fireworks. There's also a pre-party where you enjoy dessert at Tomorrowland Terrace before the fireworks and then go to a VIP viewing area, which is standing room only, over in the Plaza Garden to see the show. And finally, there's an after-party version where you enjoy the fireworks from the standing only viewing area first, and then you head to Tomorrowland Terrace after the show for dessert. You get it. They kind of do like 3 seatings for this dessert party. You can book any of the 3 fireworks parties over on the Disney World website or through the My Disney Experience app starting 60 days before your visit. A haircut in a theme park? You gotta be joking. Nope, not joking. Harmony Barbershop is a vintage-style salon inside Magic Kingdom where all ages can go and get their haircut on Main Street, USA. I have gotten haircuts there many times before. Makes it a great bucket list item no matter how old you are. But the most memorable part of this experience could be taking your little one to get their very first haircut inside Disney World. The My First Haircut experience starts at $28 and includes not only the haircut, but also a commemorative Mickey ears hat, a keepsake lock of hair, and an official milestone certificate. And the best part is that these hairstylists do this all day, every day, so they absolutely know how to handle your kid if they're freaking out over their first haircut. Magic Kingdom has a few different scavenger hunts that aren't just fun to add to your bucket list, but also serve as a nice alternative to the rides and shows if you're starting to get queue line fatigue. One of the Magic Kingdom's scavenger hunts lives inside Storybook Circus and asks that you go around smelling a bunch of elephants. Please don't click out of this video. I can explain. Smell-a-Fence on Parade is a scavenger hunt experience where you'll become a whiff-sistant for Timothy Q. Mouse and breathe in the sweet, salty, and savory scents of the circus across 8 different elephant statues. The attraction also comes with a free Smell-a-Fent pamphlet plus circus treat stickers you can match to each corresponding area on the map. To pick up your map, just visit the ticket booth in front of Big Top Souvenirs and a cast member will hook you up. Another free scavenger hunt in Magic Kingdom is a little less scent driven, but a whole lot more adventurous, which is why you're going to find it in appropriately Adventureland. The Pirate's Adventure, Treasures of the Seven Seas, is going to hook you up with a free treasure map and talisman over at the Crow's Nest, which is right outside of this land on the Frontierland side of things. Just follow the clues to solve each mystery and watch the interactive elements unfold with each new mystery you uncover. While there are 5 adventures in total, all 5 may not be available on the day of your visit, but that just makes this bucket list item all the more enticing to accomplish with time. And then there's the Scavenger Hunt over in Fantasyland near the Tangled restroom, where you can play a fun little game of hide and seek with the best Disney chameleon mascot around, Pascal. While you're in this area, whether it be to take pictures or do your business, you can attempt to find 10 Pascals that have hidden all around the outdoor space. I won't spoil the fun for you if you haven't played before, but if you're in desperate need of a cheat sheet, I'll add the link to our DFB blog post that has all the Scavenger Hunt answers written out for you. Okay, I just like miniature things, okay? I like tiny looking foods, I like tiny looking ceramics, and anytime there's a tiny looking McDonald's toy featured in Happy Meals, then I tag my scriptwriter Bria so we can try to collect them together. So it only makes sense that every time I'm in Magic Kingdom, I go back through and find all the random tiny doors across the park, even if I've already completed this bucket list item 10 times over. So here's a tiny door scavenger hunt for you to play along with too, if you love tiny doors as much as I do. To start out, we got this regal looking door hidden in the wall surrounding Cinderella Castle. Looks as though it's been specially designed to fit in with the castle architecture, complete with a lock and a spot for a key. So it's likely an access door for something like plumbing or electrical, but looks magical, doesn't it? Perhaps the most iconic tiny door is this wooden one behind Bonjour Village Gifts. It's tucked away in the bathroom area by Gaston's Tavern, and it fits the classic fairy tale design of the area with its rough-hewn wood look and rusted lock. Our next door actually has a theme. Located on the side of the new Critter Co-op gift shop, this door was originally themed to Brer Rabbit's home back when Splash Mountain was still around. Now the mailbox out front has been painted to say Laurie, which is one of the characters introduced for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And last but not least, we've got to honor one of Disney's tiniest characters with the addition of Smell-O-Phints on Parade in Magic Kingdom. Disney added a tiny door to the new ticket booth in front of Big Top Treats. It has Timothy Q. Mouse's profile on it, so we can only assume it's made for him. Make sure to look out for it the next time you're in the park. What's the best way to enjoy a warm cinnamon roll from Gaston's Tavern that's already covered in ooey gooey icing? Easy. Get another cup of icing for even more of that drippy, sugary goodness. Most of the time, an extra cup of icing from Gaston's Tavern will be free of charge, but don't be thrown if it costs an extra 50 cents or $1 next time you go, just because Disney's been known to charge extra for similar items in the past. Now, everybody always tries to find the little paw prints outside of Tony's Town Square, which are super, super cute because, of course, this particular restaurant is themed to Lady and the Tramp. But let me try to convince you why you should always try to request a seat outside of this restaurant instead of inside if you do happen to eat there. And I know it sounds like a really bad idea. Eat really heavy Italian food outside in Orlando, but stay with me. The patio seating of this restaurant is shaded and the ceiling fans help to keep you cool-ish. And while some may still prefer to stay inside with the AC blasting, let me tell you, the Tony's patio is going to give you primo views of the Festival of Fantasy Parade. When you're planning your mealtime here and you want to time your visit to see the parade, try to make reservations 30 to 45 minutes before the parade is scheduled to pass by. While outdoor seating is never guaranteed, you can absolutely request it when you check in for your reservation. It's going to help improve your chances of being placed in what I believe are the best seats in the house. Now, I get in the summer, this might be, awful to sit outside and eat Italian food. But, when it starts to get cooler in Orlando, which it actually does, in the November, December, January timeframe, this could be an ideal bucket list item to knock off. So it might not be a bucket list item for every Magic Kingdom going family, but if you've got a kid who'd love nothing more than be transformed into a Disney princess or prince for the day, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is going to do that for you. Bibbidi Bobbidi over in Fantasyland is a premium experience that you'll want to check off your family's bucket list before your kids age out of it, since this is for ages 3 to 12 only. I know, we can't do it. Now, there are different packages and different price points that you can choose from, but each package will give your kid the opportunity to star in their own magical fairy tale for the next 90 minutes as their very own fairy godmother pampers them with makeup and hairstyles and costumes and accessories that you're going to want to take a gazillion pictures of. It's an enchanted, growing, glowing mirror, so of course you're going to want to check this one out. Honestly, we are just dumbfounded by this whole Imagineering situation. Enchanted Tales with Belle is over in Fantasyland, and it starts off by taking you inside Maurice's cabin. When the pre-show begins, a mirror transforms into a glowing, growing portal, leading you into the Beast's library by the power of Disney magic. Once you're in the library, you'll take your seat and listen to an interactive retelling of how Belle and Beast met and fell in love. Some guests might even get chosen to play along. After the show wraps up, storytelling volunteers will also have the chance to meet Belle and take a picture with her, and often you'll get a free bookmark signed by Belle herself, whether you were in the performance or not. So not only are you potentially getting a character meet and greet opportunity, but you're also getting a full show and possibly a free souvenir. It's just fun and well worth squeezing into your already packed Magic Kingdom day at some point. Actually pulling the sword from the stone is like top tier bucket list fodder, but not everyone's going to be blessed with that sort of luck. So at least you can attempt to be one of the chosen few and cross your fingers that it'll happen. Over by Prince Charming Regal Carousel, you can try your luck at pulling Excalibur out of the stone. Granted, many have tried, few have succeeded. So if you're one of the lucky ones, you've definitely got some bragging rights there. But you'll never know if you're the one chosen unless you give it a try. So go on, give it a try. The worst that could happen is that it doesn't budge and kicks your ego a little bit. But it's Disney kicking your ego, so it's okay. Ooh, now here's a bucket list item for all the Disney World pros out there. The Keys to the Kingdom tour is a 5-hour walking guided experience offering behind-the-scenes access to some of Magic Kingdom's most hidden areas. One of the big tour highlights includes VIP access to the famous, but only seen by cast members, Utilidor tunnels constructed underneath Magic Kingdom. Prices for the tour cost about $149 to $169 per person on top of your regular day ticket, but that price does cover lunch and a commemorative gift. You can book this specialty tour online or through the My Disney Experience app. Look, it's iconic, okay? This is a really easy one to knock off of your bucket list. You hop on board the monorail from either your resort or the Transportation and Ticket Center. You stand clear of the doors because the overhead voice asked you to nicely, and you look out the window to watch Cinderella Castle get closer into your view. Incredible. If you're riding in on a Disney bus that day from your Disney hotel, you'll bypass the TTC completely, which is okay because it'll save you time and deliver you right up to the Magic Kingdom front gates. But because the monorail is free to ride and everyone is invited to hop on board, I'd recommend that at least once check it out, riding it over to the resort in the middle of the day and then riding it back to the park again, just because it's one of those first-time Disney experiences that everyone should try while they're visiting. Wait, is going to Magic Kingdom on a day it's closing early really something you always want to do? Well, it really depends on where your priorities lie, but let me back up a second. When Magic Kingdom is throwing one of their seasonal after-hours parties, like Mickey's Not So Scary or Mickey's Very Merry, then the select nights when these events are happening will close Magic Kingdom as early as 6 p.m. for all general admission guests who don't have party tickets. And that means you're going to sacrifice all those nighttime Magic Kingdom shenanigans like Happily Ever After and Disney Starlight and nighttime rides on Tron Light Cycle Run. And yeah, maybe that's not something you always want to do, but the plus side of a Magic Kingdom closing early day is that the crowds are more often than not a whole lot lighter. This is something we've noticed having kind of tested out this theory several times over the past, 10 years. So lighter lines, lighter Festival of Fantasy crowds, lighter everything. And if you're a family with young kids and you are already planning on ditching Magic Kingdom early to get some much needed shut-eye, then going on a day when the park's closing early could mean getting more done in a more limited amount of time. I can't not add Magic Kingdom's exclusive parties to our bucket list, though. I just can't. Magic Kingdom has 2 holiday after-hours parties you can book a separate ticket for. There's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Each holiday party takes place after the parks close, and during these events, you'll be able to experience limited-time holiday entertainment and rare meet and greets, exclusive shows, free seasonal treats, as well as some premium limited edition treats, too, that might only be at these parties. Plus, the rides do stay open during the event and typically offer much shorter wait tweets than they post during the day. You might even come across a ride with a holiday overlay. And if you're not planning on going to Magic Kingdom during the holidays, you might still be able to attend a separately ticketed event during one of Magic Kingdom's after-hours events. So after-hours events in Magic Kingdom happen during select nights of the year over the span of several months. You can always check the Disney World website or our free DFB 12-month Disney World planning calendar over at disneyfoodblog.com/WDW calendar for those updated dates whenever they're released. During after-hours events, you're not going to be doing anything holiday-related. Your main goal will be to explore Magic Kingdom for 3 hours after its official closing time to wander around a near-empty park, which, believe me, is a rare sight to behold and kind of creepy. That means the ride wait times are super low and temperatures are cooler because it happens after the sun sets. Plus, as the added icing sprinkles gravy and cherries on top of the whole thing, you'll also get free snacks and drinks throughout the night. So no holiday stuff, no holiday overlays or holiday snacks, but just tons of rides with super low waits and free snacks and drinks. I don't even know how to properly introduce this bucket list item, so I'm just gonna say it. As you approach the Jungle Cruise entering from Main Street, USA, you'll see these giant Tiki God statues, and if you listen carefully, you'll hear the sounds of distant drums, which is nice. But if you're not careful about where you step, the angry gods will spit at you, which actually feels pretty nice on a hot Orlando afternoon. Just saying. But it is a rite of passage, so therefore, bucket list item. What? Cinderella Castle is that way, so why are we walking away from it? Well, I love watching the Happily Ever After show from Main Street, USA to see the whole package deal, fireworks, music, projections. But what I don't love is feeling like I'm a Main Street USA sardine, shouldered up against thousands of other strangers who will be making a mad dash to the exit just as soon as the last firework is shot off. So instead, there are times when I walk to the back of Cinderella Castle to see the show instead, just so I don't have to deal with all those crowds. Now, you're missing out on the projections this way, which honestly, I don't fully recommend if you do this for your first time seeing the show, because the projections are pretty incredible. But if you have seen the show before and you're just looking to have your fill of Magic Kingdom fireworks and music before the end of the night, you can still see them from a clear vantage point near Prince Charming Regal Carousel or Gaston's Tavern, that general Fantasyland area. And if you want to make sure you'll get the best angle of Tinkerbell flying down from the castle and still avoid the Main Street USA crowds while you're at it, I know. Try positioning yourself near the Tomorrowland Bridge. This area won't necessarily be uncrowded, but it still won't place you right in the thick of things. Don't leave out your friends back home while you're busy ticking off all these different Magic Kingdom bucket list items. They can still be included in some of the fun too. And all it takes is a little bit of snail mail on your end. There's a good chance you've been inside the parks before and walked right on past a Disney mailbox. And these mailboxes aren't just for show. They're actually real working mailboxes that you can use to send postcards or letters back home to your friends and family and drop them a quick wish you were here message. In Magic Kingdom, you can typically find mailboxes underneath the Main Street train station, on Main Street USA, near City Hall, and by Frontier Trading Post, but the locations do change every now and then, so stay on your toes. But what about the stamps? Well, it's not a bad idea to bring your own stamps from home if you know you're going to be updating your pen pal on all your big adventures while you're there. But if you happen to forget your stamp book, don't worry. You can usually purchase stamps inside Magic Kingdom over at the Main Street Chamber of Commerce. I know, pretty handy. And you don't just have to write to your friends while you're in Magic Kingdom. You can also write to Santa. Yep, you don't have to wait until Christmas to knock off this Magic Kingdom bucket list item. Head over to the Ye Olde Christmas shop inside Liberty Square, where Christmas happens 365 days a year. And because it's Christmas every day here, kids can send letters to Santa from this location year-round. And I mean, so can you. Using the blank templates and crayons provided by the shop, you can draft those letters to Santa right then and there to let him know what you want for Christmas. Once you're done writing your letter, drop it into Santa's mailbox and voila, you're officially ready for the holidays, even if nobody else around you is. Even at the tail end of your Magic Kingdom trip, you can still knock off one final bucket list item before calling it quits for the night. So be sure to stick around and see Magic Kingdom's Kiss Goodnight. No, it's not a real kiss. Can you imagine? Rather, the Kiss Goodnight begins about 30 minutes after closing time. It includes a short light display on the castle, followed by a thank you for visiting announcement, which really is just Disney's polite way of saying, okay, no, but really, you guys have to go. Now, it'd be really cool if the free pixie dust you got in Fantasyland can make you fly when you think happy thoughts, just like in Peter Pan. But the most this stuff is going to do is let you leave a little sparkle everywhere you go, which for some is maybe just as good as flying anyways. Everyone, even parents and grandparents and everybody, can get a free pixie dusting at either Sir Mickey's gift shop just behind Cinderella Castle or Bonjour Village Gifts across from Gaston's Tavern in Fantasyland. All you gotta do is track down one of the cast members wielding a magic wand and ask for a little faith, trust, and whatever that third option is. Okay, wait, don't leave Sir Mickey's just yet. Now that you're all glittered up, you need to get ready for your close-up. Inside Sir Mickey's gift shop, you can also have a full-on PhotoPass photo shoot at the Royal Portrait Studio, complete with a seasonal backdrop, magic shots where fun additional Disney-fied features are added to your pictures after they're taken, and several photo props too, just for fun additional flair. This Royal Portrait Studio is free to use, but you'll have to pay for those PhotoPass pictures via your Disney account if you want to keep them. Don't have the patience to wait until nightfall so you can wish upon the first star you see tonight? Then let's cut to the chase and write your big wishes down inside the Blue Fairy's wish book ASAP. If you dine inside Pinocchio Village House over in Fantasyland, then you need to be on the lookout for the wish book that's located in the main dining area at the back left side. Did you find it? Good. Then get to writing. After all, those wishes of yours aren't going to grant themselves. Patience is a virtue, my friends, a virtue and a reward. When you get up to the front of the line at Magic Kingdom, let a cast member know that there's a certain seat that you're wanting to hold out for, because if they can, said cast member will either have you step to the side and let a few other guests go before you, or they'll have you enter a separate line so that you can wait a little longer and have that seat you've been dying to try. But which ride seats are worth putting on your bucket list and waiting for? Okay, let's review. On the Jungle Cruise, the best seat in the house is closer to the front of the boat. This is going to help you hear the jokes better and you can interact with your skipper. On any of the coasters, like Tron, Barnstormer, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and Space Mountain, thrill seekers are going to love the back seat because it offers you a faster ride when you plummet down the hills and turns. But kids who are wary of roller coasters might like it near the front row better because it's a little more relaxed and less jolty, and a little slower. On many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, place little ones in the front so they don't have to be blocked by tall adults. The front row also gets a fun interactive element in the Heffalumps and Woozles scene, which kids will either love or be totally terrified by. And when it comes to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, if you want to not get as sopping wet on this one, ask for the back row. I can't completely promise that you'll stay dry, but your chances of staying dry-ish will be a lot higher than if you were sitting right in the front. Okay, it's up to you, yes you, to create Cinderella's happily ever after. Now I know that sounds like a lot of pressure, but really it's pretty easy. Near the back of the castle, you'll find a fountain featuring a statue of Cinderella. When looking at Cindy from the height of an adult, she appears like any other ordinary girl. If ordinary girls were like brown statues by castles, you know. But from the height of a child, there's an optical illusion created, and the crown artwork behind Cindy looks like she's actually wearing the crown. It's a lovely little detail, and I love to tell people about it. So usually I frown upon the idea of playing with fire, but when these Magic Kingdom cast members do it, they create some pretty magical stuff in the process. Magical stuff that's downright mesmerizing. Inside the Crystal Art Store on Main Street, USA, which is one of our favorite places to shop, you can often watch live glass blowers creating all sorts of different glass sculptures and cups and ornaments and other impressive custom items to be sold in the shop once they're finished. Live glass blowing demonstrations don't happen all day long, but if you swing by the shop when the demonstrations aren't happening, just ask one of the Crystal Arts cast members when they're going to start back up again so you know when to return. Truth is, there's a lot of interesting things to do in Magic Kingdom that are weird and unexpected and definitely bucket list items. Like getting your hair cut at the Harmony Barbershop, or booking a fireworks dessert party, or having your kid receive a magical makeover from their own fairy godmother. But let's be real, you probably don't want to always add these things to your itinerary, especially since they can be pretty expensive. So let's agree on this instead. Even if you're a creature of habit, make it a goal to at least try one new thing each time you go to Magic Kingdom. And you don't have to spend any money on that new thing if you don't want to. Maybe it's as easy as finding a new hidden Mickey, or trying a ride you've been avoiding, or interacting with a character you've never seen before. The variety is what's important here. That way, when you get back home, you'll have new and potentially weird stories to share with all your friends. And let's keep the fun going. What are the Magic Kingdom must-dos and bucket list items that you think other folks need to incorporate into their visits? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to go and download our free Best Snack Maps guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/bestsnacks today. I love a snack map. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.